Rebels. Yeah, about them rebels. Uh,
How about them rebels?
new transition. Is this actually the transition it's supposed to be? But you know what? By the way, uh, Hayden's computer is right there.
Oh,
This
hold on a
is
second. Oh,
that's his new computer.
nice.
Now, while that looks like a normal average case, it's not at the moment.
Hmm.
I have dismantled it so I could paint it.
Oh, nice.
Kid's gonna have a computer case with a damn $1,000 paint job on it.
It's awesome. Does he know that he's getting a computer?
Yeah, I haven't hidden it from him. I've kind of used his input to he and he's getting a computer only because a power surge hurt the one that he currently has.
I gotcha.
Or else he wouldn't even be getting a computer. And I'm being honest,
Hmm.
because there was nothing wrong
Hmm.
with what he had. It
Hmm.
it run everything he needed to run outside of like one game, and the new one will run it. So
Nice.
it didn't hurt finding a killer deal at Micro Center on a motherboard and processor combo for $220 versus the 350 I was looking at spending.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Jeez, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Like 30% off, basically?
it was a little bit older parts, but the performance was comparable. And for what I
Yeah.
spent, I am not complaining.
Yeah, that's a really good price.
And I'm gonna turn his old computer into my sim rig.
Ooh. For your
Yeah,
iRacing and stuff?
yeah. I'm putting a
Nice.
sim rig together because I can't not to.
That's awesome. I've got some gunpowder Irish gin tonight for our stream.
Speaking of, I need to go to the
My
fridge and I will be right back.
official 82nd Legion shot glass here.
The only way to drink.
Indeed.
I can let you have my house. That's my shit. I want it. You're trespassing on my property. Are you out of your head? TJT, we have this house. He let you have my. I want it. You're trespassing on my property. You didn't wish my yard. I mean, hey, chill. What the hell is even there? Get everybody out of my. Passes my property.
And just like the prodigal son, I have returned.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of, I
How
need
was the pig shit?
a little smelly. Probably wouldn't want to do it again.
Yeah, I think he felt the same way. Well, I finally didn't get downvoted on the Star Wars Legion subreddit for saying that AGS is going to price this game out of existence.
Uh, that's another topic we can touch on here in just a second. I want to thank Krugar for joining us in chat for the pre-show. While he can hear us, we are not to be seen just yet. Uh, we'll be live, truly live here in just a moment. I have an opening to rewrite mentally in about the next 30 seconds because we're technically not in the Bald Wookie anymore,
That's true.
but the
It's
Bald
true.
Wookie's always with us.
Right
Coming
here.
soon to a piece of terrain near you. Um, it's next up on the building design list.
Nice.
And remember, the Bald Wookie is currently a liquor bottle. So it's probably about to get its second bottle add on with a nice little connection between.
They're gonna put an addition on the bald Wookiee, huh?
Yes, the Bald Wookie's getting a boob job.
Nice. Love it. Welcome to the chat, Krieger. Glad to have you with us, man. Thank you for stopping by.
Seems like he's always in my chat, and I do appreciate it. I'm never live all the time, but when I am live, I am. All right. Oh yeah, I got one more thing to pull up here before we get too carried away. I don't care about AdBlock being improved at the moment. I greatly appreciate you not spamming my browser with that bullshit, or I will disable you too. Let's see here. I don't agree with the 7 minis. I'm gonna hold this take for a moment.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, save it for the show. Save it for the show.
Uh, we're going to hold that hot take because I feel like it might be rather spicy.
Mhm.
And one last piece of information that is it's easier for me to pull up on Discord than it is to fight with elsewhere. Competitive list building for dummies. Yep, cool. I haven't built a competitive list that I hadn't net listed in quite some time.
Yeah, right. Same.
I just haven't had a point not to at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, according to the Stabcast, I should have went 3-0 at their tournament. So, I mean, to hear Ben tell it, I gave him that game.
Yeah, I listened to that episode.
I should have been salty, but I wasn't. I reached out and I shook the man's hand. I'll eventually get that stone for my own Stabcast gauntlet. Al Paz won't be the only one.
Yeah.
I just need. I'm not going to make Adepticon. I don't think Drew is. I'm looking at Cherokee Open. Actually, I done booked my room for the Cherokee Open.
Yeah.
Not bringing the
Also
mini
have
me
my
to
room.
this one.
Gotcha. Smart.
I mean, I wouldn't have any issue taking Hayden with this one. His mom's going to be there too,
Yeah.
but it's one of those that we're just not going to. We're gonna. I'm gonna let him go to Rocky Top.
Nice.
We're gonna do Rocky Top again this year. At least I'm planning on it. Trying to get the Chattanooga crew together. All of our younglings to do some ass kicking in the near future.
There we go. There we go.
You really need to come hang out on a Thursday night every once in a while and see what the
I do.
average Chattanooga playgroup age is right now. There's only like 3 of us that are over the age of 30. Everybody else is 24 or younger right now.
Okay. Yeah, I need to. Need to
Uh,
come up there.
for the average
Bring a
Thursday,
healthy dose of cynicism.
I ain't gonna lie, dude. You'll probably get a healthy dose to getting your ass kicked by a 10-year-old.
Probably.
Well, 15-year-old. We got
Probably.
the 15-year-old gives me a run for my money.
Nice.
Nope, not that screen. That screen. What's up, folks? It's the captain. That's Drew. And you're watching the 82nd Legion. We're live from the Not the Bald Wookie. But we're live. We're going to talk tonight about the most recent AMG announcements that we've gotten. And by the way, Dad Bod Boba was released today. I have not found him to pick him up just yet.
He's for Rebels too, right?
Yes, he is, sir. And for the record, I highly suggest picking up IG if you haven't yet.
I haven't. I think Din Djarin was the last one I got.
Yep. All right, cool. And like always, for those watching along at home, it is time for drink number one this evening, out of the finest of 82nd Legion drinkware, find me at the Cherokee Open to grab your own.
Woo.
Pinkies out, bottoms up.
What you sipping on tonight?
A little Crown Apple.
Ooh, nice.
I have to
Nice.
say that my former next door neighbor is a gentleman and a scholar because he sent me home with a half bottle the other night.
Hey, nice. There you go.
Yeah. Can't blame you on that one, Krugar, on the desire to use a invite from 2019. The amount of times that I miss my invite by one spot is enough to make a grown man go crazy. The gentleman joining me was there for 2 or 3 of them, and was actually
It
probably
was.
the cause to why I didn't get one of them.
It's possible.
Feb-
Definitely am one of the causes for Tim getting one, which is super unfortunate, but
yeah, Dice Head, February 2020.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We get paired up round
Mm-hmm.
one, and I look at him and I go, I need you to win out the rest of the day. And he doesn't win out the rest of the day for me.
Got him.
I finished 5th. 4th got the invite. Go figure.
Which is this is the way.
Yeah, I know. I lost to Ryan that day of all people.
Mm.
You look at my and one events as of late and who I've lost to, it's been quite hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the story of the Knoxville tournament. Actually, you know what? I might actually touch on my side of that event. Um, there was a group of 4 of us from Chattanooga that rode up. Me, Jacob, Eric, and my son Hayden. We carpooled up there. Had a absolutely wonderful time playing 3 straight rounds. My game ended early enough in round 1 that I was able to go get food.
Nice.
Like I had an hour left in our game because we was 4 turns. And here's the funny thing about how this worked. We took 2 cars, car A and car B.
Mm-hmm.
And it was car A versus car B for round 1. So Chattanooga eliminated themselves round 1. We eliminated
You guys didn't
half
do
of
like
our
a play team
carpool.
or anything? You guys didn't do like a group?
Apparently, the software Longshanks does not do travel groups. So no,
Oh,
there was no. No,
it sucks. Yeah.
it didn't exist.
Mm.
So I get paired against Jacob. Hayden and Eric get paired against each other. Hayden pretty much just about gets tabled in 5 rounds. Me and Jacob
Mm.
play 4 really good rounds, and I'm on my way to tabling him.
Mm.
Uh, Me and Jacob, he's one of our newer players, and he's getting better. As soon as he gets away from the clones, he'll be good.
Oh yes.
Uh,
Kurgar.
Here's the problem with a lot of the Chattanooga playgroup. There are a ton of clone players.
Well, the new passing mechanic will help them out.
It will.
It'll help out the Gar. It'll help out the Gar army for sure.
It's going to help out low activation armies, and Guard just
Mm-hmm.
happens to be the natural low activation army. I'm excited to give the pass mechanic a try. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that we're going to get to here in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Jacob, we
I mean,
have our knockdown drag out game 1,
mm-hmm.
and then game 2, I get paired from non Stabcast Will,
Mm.
and he came down for the tournament in October, had a blast. I rode up, kind of glad I got to play, and he put up a killer fight.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, I played on the same table for both game 1 and game 2.
Oh.
Major offensive, intercept for game 1, major offensive, key positions for game 2. Do you see what's happened here?
Yes. Yes.
And I wound up on the same table edge both games. because I chose Table Edge
Mm,
over Battle Deck because I'm playing Pike. I'm playing 6 Pike small pre
yeah,
nerf, and
shell collective.
quite honestly, you play 3 games of that, and it's either you're racked mentally or your opponents are cussing by the end of turn 4. Because nothing of your army's dead unless they threw a whole fistful of dice at it.
Oh man,
Because
that's brutal.
the way it was set up, dude, it was almost immune to chip damage.
Jeez, that's awesome. Yeah, you had like what, like 4 capos or something in there?
Uh, Total of 5, 6, 7. Total of 8 capos.
8.
Yeah, 8.
You're
There
a bad
was,
man, Vinegar. You're a bad man, Captain. You're a bad man.
yeah, well, you know, I am. It is what it is. I went 2-1 because I had some dice that led to a bad play decision
Mm,
against Ben. Uh,
mm.
but when I found out that I got paired against Ben in round 3, then it was on because he's playing 13 act droids, 8 B1s with no heavies, 3 staps, and a
Jeez.
tank.
So he's playing the Naboo Force?
Yeah,
Mm.
and I don't remember if do you remember what I played last year at Cherokee Open?
Oh no. Mm.
13 act droids, tank, triple stat,
Yeah, that's right.
B1s,
Yeah.
and this was before you could stack all the B1s, and I had
Mm-hmm.
3 BX droids, T
Mm-hmm.
series. So our overall list construction was similar.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came down to picking that list apart with what I had, I knew to kill B1s because we're playing key positions or intercept. I don't intercept because it
Mm-hmm.
was all range 1.
That's
Dis
tough. Intercept is tough against droids.
it may be tough against droids, but they can't score if they're dead.
True. True.
The only things I had left alive this game was Staps and Tank. And the goal was there is they can't score.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to work until I didn't capture the middle point on the end.
Mm.
Yeah, the feel bad moments.
Mm.
Instead of basing a commander in base contact with an enemy unit that I thought I was going to kill, I moved him up and got him as close to the middle and into heavy cover as possible, only for a
Mm-hmm.
staff to hunt him down and kill him. Poor Capo. Never seen what was
Yeah.
about to fucking round the corner and blast him out of nowhere
To the capo, man.
to the Capo. But the real reason, have you gotten any games in recently? Or was Rocky Top pretty much the last game you got in?
Yeah, that's probably I played I played like a skirmish teaching game with somebody, basically, kind
Okay.
of, but it wasn't. I'd barely count it. I mean, we threw dice and we moved guys around, but it was like
It's a teaching
my
game.
Imperial starters, yeah, versus basically the Rebel, what came in the Rebel starters, essentially. So it wasn't a lot, you know. But it was some dice, it was some rules, you know. I was getting back into it.
Yeah,
So
gotta get you back out on the floor. Gotta get John back out. I like that
yeah,
angle on that camera a lot better.
I'm gonna put a reminder in my phone. I don't know what I have going on this Thursday, but I'm gonna put a reminder in there to come and try and swing by. It's
I
the
mean,
22nd.
yeah, with it
What
coming
time
up
do
on,
you guys get started over there?
I plan on riding out directly after work on the 22nd. I'm taking an army to work with me that day.
Nice. I'm just gonna put 5 p.m. in there. That'll give me enough time to figure it out.
Yep. Um, let's see here. See if I can pull up. Actually, let me do this. Yeah, so I can set up this other screen real quick.
Really get some painting done too, probably.
I
I
wasn't
still got a
planning. Oh,
bus. I still got a cash in. I still got a K2. I still got a Denjar.
I do plan on going live one day next week as I
Mm.
light and sound my bus.
Oh, nice. That'll be sick.
So I've already done Sweet Tooth. Now I'm doing Midnight.
Nice.
So
Nice.
do you
Maybe
have a
I'll come
copy
over
of?
with paint. I'll grab my trees from you too that I have over there.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I won't rattle can Rembrandt another U-wing into terrain in 30 minutes.
Oh, I need to pick up a can of foam too to put those Ewing pieces in.
Oh, yeah, cheap can of spray foam.
Yeah,
Godsend.
yeah,
So, you want to start with points first since that's what we got first?
yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So, couple of things for Empire. I'm trying to figure out why the mortar went from 38 to 40. The
Well,
DLT 19 for the Death Trooper, -4 to 30. Arc Troopers got a points drop across the board for both normal and the strike team. Uh,
which is good. They
they
needed to
did.
be brought down a little bit. Yeah,
Full squad at 72, strike team at 24. Phase two's at 60. Outside of the 501st, can't justify them at 60 when I can get a phase one, a specialist, and a Z6 for less than a
yeah.
phase two with a Z6.
Which really sucks because I was just talking to my brother about getting into Legion, and he loves the clones and the 501st and stuff. And I was like, well, dude, you should check out the battle box. And then I like looked at it and I was like, it actually only comes with phase twos.
Phase ones are not even an option in that particular list.
And I think did the price go up? Or were they always 150?
No, they released it 150, and for what you get in the
Did
box,
they?
it's actually a really good deal.
Okay, that's what I. For some reason, I
Because
thought they
the
were the same
clones,
price as the starter sets, but
no, they're a little bit more than a starter, but they also include a ton. I bought the separate. I
mm,
bought the separatist Battle Force box.
hmm
Just for the tank, two B1s, and one set of ball mode droidicas because I'd had some parts come up missing, and I used droidica parts as
mm,
parts. So, and the ball modes was the first to get sacrificed. Thought
nobody
it was
uses
well
those
worth it.
things. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So yeah, phase two's 60.
The DC-15 Phase 1 down to 24. Phase 1 shotgun down to 20. Z6 down to 22 for the Phase 1s.
That's
Clone
good.
Commander, the unit upgrade is 18. Comms Tech 11. Engineer 14. Medic 15. A lot of stuff went down in clones. And I think
hmm
between the points going down and, well, some of the defensive tech also went up. So some of the clone lists didn't really change.
Yeah, it's kind of a trade-off, right? Because like a lot of those defensive cards that you use to kind of augment the clones'
Yeah.
token sharing ability did go up.
Hmm.
So I'm glad that they reduced Gar kind of across the board for the most part. But I'm not sure if it was really enough, honestly.
I don't. I'm kind of with you on that. I don't think it was enough for clones. I
hmm
did take a clone gun line to the store.
Mm.
There was some cardboard tokens wrong with it, but mine was okay. And as far as the extra flight stands, all my locals who bought it also contacted me and had me run them off some jetpack smoke trails. They bought a
Nice.
file. I printed it for them.
hmm
Plastic flight stands do not exist at our store. I
Cool.
I have one mini left on them that's not a STAP.
hmm
And as my STAP flight stand's breaking, I'm replacing them with 062 stainless steel TIG rod.
Makes sense.
No more problems out of them. No more
Yeah.
no more broken flight stands.
Mm-hmm.
So droids, they got two kind of serious nerfs in the respects of things, but I
Sure
also
did.
feel that these nerfs are a little bit late to the game. And with them being so
Yeah.
late, that I don't feel that they needed to be as heavy as they was.
I mean, the spider droids were pretty oppressive. I think. I'm
Spiders was
glad.
only oppressive when you could stack them with 2 aim tokens. And if a spider had to recover, it wasn't getting its second aim token.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
My The Ion needed to go up. Did it need to go to 25? In my opinion, no. 20.
Yeah.
And Krugar, I've got a couple extra sets here. I may run 1 or 2 sprues of them by the store and tape them to the boxes.
Yeah. Does Epicos have Dad Bob Bubba yet?
I didn't see it when I was out there tonight, but I'll be quite honest, I wasn't looking for it. I walked in with my commander stuff in hand, and
Commander as in Magic the Gathering Commander.
yeah,
Nice.
been getting together with couple of people a couple of customers that I used to hang out with all the time, and now I get to go out on
Nice.
Friday night and hang out with them and play. Actually enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Nice.
yeah, look at it that way, yeah. But then again, I've only got one real meta player in the store besides myself, and on Thursday nights, I'm generally trying something different, unique, or
Mm-hmm.
downright stupid, such as Yoda double ISP.
Why not?
Double ISP with beams kind of hilarious because you just start beaming everything on the opponent's side of the board and you hit 4 or 5 units in a turn.
Hey, there you go.
It ain't a lot, but it's a little. Um,
Yeah.
and as far as the Magna Guard, it went from 28 to 34. Eh,
I mean, that's a bid, right? I mean, 6 points is a bid,
it
so
is a bid.
I think that's fine. You know what I mean? Like that seems pretty good. Like it's another
15's
choice
an
you have to
upgrade
make.
elsewhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to get into the biggest of these, in my opinion, and probably the most needed. Uh, the Pike Capo from 45 to 48. The Foot Soldiers from 40 to 44. I
Oh.
think the 40 to 44, and we need to lose a keyword.
Yeah,
So,
that puts them on 44. Puts them on par with Stormtroopers, basic
priced at,
Stormtroopers.
they're priced at Stormtrooper pricing.
Mm.
The Black Sun Vigo, the unit upgrade,
Mm-hmm.
from 18 to 20. That Courage 2 on some Black Suns is kind of spicy.
Yeah. See that?
And the Pike Capo that goes inside the squad went from 16 to 18.
Mm.
Um, after playing the list that is the list that shall not be mentioned, I don't argue with a single one of these. I don't argue with a single one of these points increases.
Yeah, I'm glad that they. So, like, kind of the philosophy it seems that their point balancing is around is little buffs to actual units, like little changes to units, but then larger changes to upgrades and specialists and like that type of thing, like things you can add to the units, which I think is fine. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so the capos definitely, they all went up and stuff and everything went up in the
Yeah,
Shadow Collective, but all of the stuff that they were abusing also went up. So,
it did.
which, like, I think that's fine because, if
And
one
which
is abusing it, then another army can abuse it as well, too. So why punish the capos for being capos as hard as you would punish, like, say, vigilance for being vigilance, right? If that makes
yeah.
sense.
Oh,
So I like that.
it makes a ton of sense. And speaking
Hmm.
of vigilance, that's going to be the first upgrade we talk about because it suffered one of the most drastic swings from 5 to 12.
As a Rebel player, my heart just broke when I read that, man. Like, we barely have anything going for us, and then they take that away from us too, and I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, cool.
Vigilance was a linchpin in one or two of my lists, especially the It Takes Two that I run last year at Rocky Top.
Mm.
That was actually a surprisingly fun list to play until you get tabled you in turn one or in game one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not only was the table horrible for me, I'm also put up against 6 HH-12 specialist squads with Vader and 3 snipers. I didn't have
Ooh.
much of an army left by turn 2 anyway.
Sure.
Oh, and with Vigilance taking a hit, the next thing that took a hit was Burst of Speed. You know,
Another Rebel
everybody's
nerf.
favorite what's the word I'm looking for this? Everybody's favorite spice. There we go. That likes to make them go fast. Gotta go fast. Went
I
from 3 to
mean,
10, and I don't disagree with
crazy.
that one at all. Uh,
Crazy. I mean, I just don't understand, dude. Like, now you're throwing 10 points now into something you get to use one time, and it has a drawback after you use it. So it's like it's too much. I could have seen 6, maybe 8, maybe. But I mean, 10 is just 7 points is just crazy to me. Like, up to 10 is just crazy to me.
no,
It just
no,
doesn't make sense.
no. As somebody who's got a lot of Vader under his belt recently, no. I'll pay 10 points to get Vader in my opponent's line when I need him there.
I mean, yeah, you're still gonna bring it,
A
right? But
a double move Vader with speed 3 with a single immobilized token on a second activation due to Implacable with choke and push equipped as well. Uh I still run Commander Vader. I have not adopted Operative Vader like a lot of I see the Discord adopt.
mm,
Uh I'm still a Commander Vader guy. Then again, it
mm,
might just be the players here can't handle Vader, decent
yeah,
Vader play, and I'm sure I'm not
hmm
great at it.
mm. I see what you're saying though. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a lot for a
I
one-time
don't
use card already.
I don't think it. Hold on, for the Force users that really need it,
Hmm.
um, and yeah, now I do agree on the 14 points being a tough pill to swallow there, especially for Vader. Vigilance, keeping a dodge on Vader with Vigilance was really nice, and definitely some Force user tech I used.
Hmm.
Because my favorite Commander Vader loadout is Vigilance, Burst, Choke, Push. That's really all
Yeah.
Vader needs.
Hmm.
Turn 1, you move once and take a dodge. Turn 2, now it probably didn't help that a lot of my games with Vader all played either key positions or intercept.
Yeah, those are pretty good Vader objectives.
I went 7-0 and I didn't play anything but those two objectives.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I and
Well, that'll do it.
I put the list together because they was like I mean, I get throw as well on that one, Krugar. And actually, it was throw, choke, push, and throw turned into burst.
Mm,
I've not missed Vader's I can't get over cover one dice, pierce one, saber throw.
mm.
I have not been able to. I think that comes down to. I think that comes down to player preference on. I think choke and push are must-haves on Vader. Uh, But then again, throw to choke, I could almost see that as well. But the amount of times that I've reached out, snapped a Z6 neck out of a clone squad, which neutered its fire support dice pool,
Hmm.
there was a little bit of feels good on that.
With the new rules, can you still specifically choose the heavy to choke out?
Far as I'm aware, yes.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything saying no.
Because I know
And
they changed the way that they take damage while they're in cover,
yep, and we're
you
gonna
know,
be,
like line of sight and stuff.
and we'll probably get into that here in a moment.
Mhm.
Uh, the next one on the list, and I didn't know this meta was incoming, but with the rules that have yet to be announced, it's entirely possible. Grappling hooks doubled in price.
Oh, random.
Yep, from 1 to 2 points.
So random. Like, was like someone in the AMG offices like just crushing grappling hooks or something? Like,
I don't have an answer to this. It's probably the weirdest points up on the whole sheet outside of maybe the mortar.
yeah, the mortars, that's a weird one too.
So there's a
But
meta incoming that we don't know about that AMG's curbing before it ever began. Uh, before
the
we
$99 down deck swing meta.
oof. Hey, you know what? I'm glad that there's nothing competition legal that's required purchase in that box.
True.
Um, Not saying that I haven't bought other pieces of terrain, but I did not buy them firsthand.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
bait. That's whale bait. That's what that is.
I, I I I can't go to a tournament without having to buy something that I left at home.
That's true. That's true.
Speaks in corset.
Oh man.
Oh push! Right, the
Yeah.
mortar was the unit that fire supported the least out of everything with fire support. You're 100% right. But a mortar fire supported sniper shot's pretty dirty.
That's true.
Crit
That is true.
1 Pierce fire supported mortar was beautiful. 2 black,
Yeah.
3 white, crit 1, ship it. O push from 4 to 6. Anything that had to do with token generation or how it was spent went up. Uh,
Yeah.
O push by
Which
2
again,
from 4 to
even kind of like
6.
negates all of the gar buffs. You know what I mean? Like, it's,
Honestly, I think calming down the token abilities that we get is good for the
mhm.
game.
I don't disagree. I mean, no one likes the feels bad of like, putting 5 shots into something, two go away from cover, two dodges to spend, roll a block. Like that sucks,
And
definitely. You know
and
what I mean?
not just roll a block, you get 3 dice on that one to roll it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if we're gonna go for the super salt, let's just go ahead and be what it is. I've learned with pikes, they don't like facing 22 dice.
I don't think anyone does.
A fire supported Z6 shot with another Z6 is 22 dice to the face. Get
Yeah,
wrecked, pikes.
yeah. Which is, we'll talk about it too in a little bit, but like fire supporting with the pass token, also very interesting.
Yes, yes.
Some
It
shenanigans to be had there.
So I can appreciate the fact that stuff like situational awareness went from 2 to 4,
Hmm.
which allowed you to spend dodges to cancel crits. Tenacity adds a dice to the
Another
dice
rebel nerf.
pool.
Another rebel nerf.
Yes, that nerf hits Tauntauns and Luke. What else uses? Oh, maybe Wookiees if you're brave
Wookiees.
enough.
Chewbacca, maybe. Yeah.
And then up close and personal from 5 to 8. Uh, it's another token generator card, and that one's kind of
Hmm.
busted. So I think at 8 it's priced right. I
It's
don't,
really funny because I think about like when Eastims was 8 and everyone was like, and now I feel like we've got a bunch of cards that are up at that level now too. You know what I mean? Like,
Do
I
you
don't know,
do
man.
you remember the nerf that E-Stems got back in the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they was really only good with Saboteurs.
Yeah.
And with that buff and everything else that's going on, even Saboteurs ain't that good no more.
Yeah.
I re- I
No one
real
plays them anymore. Yeah.
I really want to pull out a old Bomb Squad list so I can wreak havoc on a Thursday night one night. Come on, boys, come at me, bro.
Yeah. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Cause I like leaving things all over the game board that like to go boom.
Mhm.
All right, so uh, we're just gonna go full screen with this and then see if I can put that over it. You had to forget to do something. Oh, if it's already
Never.
in use. So are you on?
But hang on.
What's your So what's your overall thoughts on the points changes outside of Rebels getting hit without Rebels actually getting targeted?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're mostly fine. I mean, honestly, like the token generation was getting a little out of hand. I mean, honestly, it seems like every upgrade they released really made the game less interactive in a lot of ways. It was less about like making your units better in the sense and more about like making your opponent's units worse. So I'm fine with it. I don't really know if it was like super needed in the sense of like I don't feel like people are taking ginormous bids. Kind of like how, X-Wing was at the very end where people are taking like 30-point bids and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's not, I don't think it was there. I'm not sure that a lot of these needed quite as much as they went up. And I really do feel like a lot of the upgrade nerfs kind of indirectly targeted the army that they buffed, which was Gar. Like, number one, I hate seeing rebels and like no changes basically, which is not cool. And then all of my upgrades that I use, like burst of speed, vigilance, um, situational awareness, tenacity, like all of those went up, which is weak, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, I guess. And I'll still take them probably. I'll just take less of them, I guess, because
Yeah,
like rebels, at least for me personally, like they're just kind of in a weird spot where like they really kind of want you to like lean into the commander part of it and like the unique hero part of it, but then by making all of those upgrades cost more, like you're also hamstringing those commanders in a lot of ways. Like we don't really have a good gun line list. We don't really have a good vehicle list. Like all we really have is like commanders and operatives,
right.
maybe special forces, maybe you can make an argument for too, but so it's tough. Like, I mean, Rebels did get a bunch of buffs in the previous points update, I will say, like,
They
and they
did.
felt like they were in a pretty good spot, but with all the upgrades getting buffed, I'm nerfed rather, like buff points wise, like more cost, like this is kind of a feels bad for me, but yeah, we'll deal with it. We'll wait till the next point of thing comes out and when they kind of adjust again, hopefully, but the fact of the matter is it took them so long to get this one out. Like, I mean, this was like 6 months or something, or 8 months, like
Um, um, yeah, no.
longer. Like last February is the last time I played, and I
Uh,
feel like that they had just recently had a points upgrade then, but I might be wrong. So yeah, it could be
well,
10 months. I don't know. I mean,
um,
it's been a while, which is
you know
as an
what?
Armada player, that's concerning. But I've seen it happen already before with a game that I love.
Star Wars Legion
So
rolls. When was this one? Okay, so this rules reference was dropped on 6/17 of 2022. I don't happen to have the previous rules reference available to me at this time.
hmm.
Uh,
So that was 6 months ago, yeah,
well, for rules
at
reference,
least.
yeah.
Yeah.
That one's effective 1/1/23. Uh, you know, I can probably go pull this up on my phone.
Yeah. I mean, it's I am concerned a little bit about the cadence of changes because I feel like making large changes like this, like, I mean, 7 or 8 points for a card is a lot. I mean, that's, when you're quadrupling the cost of a card, like that's not nothing. And like I'm saying, like the cadence of them releasing them is mildly concerning to me because they did pretty big nerfs. And if they're going to keep the same cadence, like we're just stuck with this now until July or whatever, And so I don't know. I'm curious to see kind of how they deal with it. Like I was on the subreddit the other day and I was just like, I just don't understand why they don't just turn it over to the community. Like there are people who spend hours and days of their time building things like tabletop admiral and like the list simulators and the generators and the dice rolling simulators, and they write articles and they do podcasts, and like why would you not just be like, hey, listen, you guys are the ones that are doing all the organized play, you
Well,
guys are the ones that are doing all of the article writing, you're the ones that are doing all of this extra stuff, like just pick like 8 or 10 people, be like, "You guys are the rules committee in a sense, like, what do you think about these? Like, what are you guys seeing at tournaments? Like, what are the big lists that are showing up? Like, what are the things that are
well,
broken? What are the things that aren't broken?"
you see, I believe that's my opinion.
Mhm.
Um, get the fire extinguisher handy because this one's hot.
Ooh.
Part of the reason why Legion's in the state it's in is because of the playtesters
Mm.
either
Like
not
the AMG
either.
ones, you mean? Or
I mean, I'm going back to FFG
mm.
because that's I understand that power creep comes with a game to a degree.
Sure. Mhm.
Um, this game felt like X-wing levels of power creep.
Mm.
Um, or it felt like it was getting to that level of power creep with X-wing,
Mhm.
to where you either run the best of the best or you didn't run it at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and the amount of token generation outside of an action on during a unit's turn.
Mhm.
You want to rein the game back into friendly for everybody. You reduce the token generation outside of an activation.
Yeah. I agree with that. And like, I mean, the ultimate goal, right, is to like get this like to a place where everything is viable and everything is well balanced and like doesn't matter what your favorite character is, you can bring that character because like they'll
Yeah.
add something to it. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like, and someone like pushed back on me when I said that, and they were like, "Well, the community's super biased," and I was like, "I don't think so." Like, listening to things like Stabcast or uh
If you only listen
the
to the
other one.
competitive players that are on podcast, then your
Mhm.
viewpoint of the game is going to be skewed. There's a
Well, but I
difference.
think they truly want a balance too, though. Like, I mean, they each have a player for each faction. Like, they all are coming at it from a different point of view. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't,
And
I mean, nobody wants one faction to just be far and away the faction you have to play. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants that. So that kind of didn't make sense to me for someone to push back and say, like, well, it wouldn't be balanced because the community is biased. Like, not really. I mean, the starter sets come with two factions in them. You've got to have a friend to play the other faction usually. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I mean, like AMG, I feel like they don't really have a good handle on what Legion is supposed to be yet still after 2 years or 3 years, however long they've been doing this. Like,
yeah, you know what we
and
got?
I'm glad that it hasn't gotten to X-Wing levels where you have to buy a fucking Star Viper to get the card that you need out of it. You know what I mean? Like, at least we're not there, right?
Well, and I'll
So.
admit that X-wing's gotten better with card packs.
Mhm.
Um, I've gotten to the point to where I'm picking up a ship here and a ship there. I've got a
Mhm.
list in my travel box, and I throw it in the car on Tuesdays. If I feel like stopping by the store, I do. I get a game in and I leave. If I
Mhm.
don't, I just go on home.
Yeah.
But I think it's time that we move on just a touch further at the moment.
Yeah.
Um, line of sight is now used to see if a miniature can see another mini. A player determines line of sight from the perspective of their miniatures. This is done by creating a cylinder rising from the cylinder's base called a silhouette. A miniature silhouette includes a miniature's base and the area above it up to the height of the silhouette. When determining line of sight between two miniatures, if an unobstructed straight imaginary line can be drawn from any part of one's miniature silhouette to any part of another miniature silhouette, those miniatures have line of sight to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, do you remember the days of shooting gun barrels?
I do. I do. I remember specifically turning my units around in like weird directions so that I couldn't get their guns shot. I very vividly recall that. Yes.
Leia was probably the worst out of all of them, and Luke with
Mm-hmm.
that god forbidden lightsaber. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, to determine the height of a miniature silhouette, use the following rules. Trooper units in all subtypes use a standardized silhouette template to determine line of sight. Place the side with a white mark touching the base, moving the template around if needed. Miniatures and trooper units with small bases use the small base trooper silhouette. Miniatures and trooper units with notch bases use the notch base silhouette.
Any of those yet?
The notch base we haven't. As soon as I get dimensions, yes.
Okay.
As soon as I get dimensions.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah, because
also gonna.
AMG's plan is here's a PDF, print it off and cut it out.
I have a 3D
Yep.
printer, the ability to use CAD to a certain degree, and the know-how to use all of the equipment that I own.
There you go.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Uh, and one other thing that we're getting is silhouette, or kind of getting a semi silhouette for vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike trooper units, vehicles do not use silhouette templates when determining line of sight. To determine a vehicle silhouette, we're not using them according to what we just read here. Create a cylinder rising from the vehicle miniature's base all the way to the top of the hull. Do not include things like antennas, weapons, or crew. Crew members,
Mm-hmm.
when creating this cylinder, players should discuss vehicle silhouettes before the game begins. Basically, what part of the mini are you drawing line of sight from?
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Um,
it's just kind of that feels more of like a clarification or kind of cleaning up some confusion, you
right.
know.
And line of sight is drawn from any point on an attacking mini silhouette to any point on a defending mini silhouette.
Hmm.
So if that gun barrel can see and has a silhouette that can be seen behind it, the floating gun can shoot.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then,
Mhm. But it can also be shot back too,
yep.
is the other piece of that. So, yeah.
And then how cover is determined is now changed a little bit as well. To determine the number of obscured minis, the attacking player checks line of sight from any part of the attacking unit leader's silhouette to each mini in the defending unit. If line of sight to any part of the defending miniature silhouette is blocked by terrain other than terrain in base contact with the unit leader, and part of the silhouette is still visible, defending mini is obscured. Repeat this process for every mini in the unit. Um, let's be real. There's no need for a silhouette to determine each and every mini's availability to be shot or not be shot.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I really like about the Legion community is that 9 times out of 10, if I'm like, I can see that guy, and that guy, my opponent is like, yep, I agree. And if there's a question, we just call a judge over, like, and there's no
Or
animosity or anything
occasionally they
like
walk
that.
over and
So,
see it for themselves and they're like, yeah, man, I get that now, and go on about their day.
hmm yeah, exactly.
I'm when I go to a tournament, I'm going because I'm going to be competitive. When I go out on Thursday night, if the store sold beer, I'd be going out to have a drink and hang out with some friends
hmm
and get a game in while I'm there.
hmm
I don't care how many games I win on Thursday night.
Yeah, exactly. That's not
But
the time to be winning, really. You know what I
no,
mean?
it's
Like,
not. I'd rather give away a
yeah.
bunch of games on Thursday, get all the locals, get their hope up, and then I'll show up on Saturday with something they ain't seen and I just beat their ass.
Yeah. It's a good time to kind of test things out and stuff,
Yeah, it is. And
Thursday.
you take one or two things that you learned during that and you go from
hmm
there. Alright, so if at least half the miniatures in a defending unit are obscured, the defending unit has cover. The type of cover is determined by whatever is obscuring the defending unit. Uh, Depending on how you and your opponent discuss terrain before the game. The amount of judge calls I've answered recently, and one of the questions I ask is, okay, would y'all rule this piece of terrain? Well, we didn't. Cool, I'm making a ruling for it, and y'all have to stick with it for the rest of the game. And I normally don't rule it in favor of either player.
That's why
I'll roll a dice, and
I
that's
only
what
use
chooses their
barricades,
cover.
baby.
Oh, there's
Barricades.
nothing worse than a building giving a bus light cover because they didn't rule it beforehand.
That building's actually made out of paper mache.
Pretty much. They didn't talk about it before. I rolled a red dice and chose.
There you go.
So, if miniatures in the defending unit are obscured by terrain that provides light cover and some terrain that provides heavy, whichever one is. If more than half the obscured minis are obscured by terrain that provides heavy cover, it's heavy. So, 5-man squad, 3's in light, 2's in heavy. What's our cover situation? Light.
Light. Mm-hmm.
Unlike my beer,
What if like 3 of them are in no cover and 2 of them are in heavy cover? Then is it no cover?
it is a no cover shot, just like it would have normally been.
Right. Okay.
Um, and you can no longer snipe out when you snipe out heavies, and you can't just line of sight scope them anymore.
Yeah,
Another
which is the biggest change.
another
hmm
mini can die first, which, you know what? I agree with that because
I do too. I mean, number one, it makes choke better, right? Like the guys that are good at killing heavies, like they still have their
it
use kind
it
of went up a
it
little
does
bit.
it does put more emphasis on choke, which has been
hmm
really good for me. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. And like again, like feels bad, dude. You're paying 20 something, 30 points or whatever for a heavy and it just gets popped off because you positioned him poorly. Like that's a feels bad.
it
you
really, or
know.
you set him out so he could get a shot, and thinking that he wouldn't get
hmm
shot back, and then he dies in return. Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of feels bad about that. But with the way that wounds work, sniper teams, there's no more shooting the sniper and then he teleports behind the building so he doesn't get shot the rest of the game. It's shoot, the guy behind the building dies, and then he can get shot at again.
Well, I thought that if he was not in sight, then he couldn't you still can't assign wounds past what you can see, right?
Well, wounds can be assigned to any mini in the squad now, whether the line of sight can be drawn to it or not. The max number of wounds that can be assigned are based on the number of minis visible.
In line of sight. Okay.
So, using the sniper strike team, for instance, see the heavy, can't see the second guy.
hmm Yeah.
The second guy dies first because you don't want your heavy to die.
That I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying now.
There's
Yeah.
no more teleporting the heavy behind the building to keep it alive.
Well,
You,
the heavy's still the unit leader though on the sniper team.
right.
Yeah.
The other mini dies, even though it is not seen, it still dies.
Right. And then the sniper can be shot again, like you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't have like a free hide, basically.
Yeah, they
Essentially.
don't get the
Yeah.
free move back on upon death.
Yeah.
So I think with that change, we can pretty much pour one out for our sniper friends. For all of those who, give me 1 second and I'll join you on that. We still got rules pulled up on screen here.
Oh, sniper teams. Fairly well.
I ain't gonna say we barely
Another-
knew you.
No, we've
they,
abused them. We've abused them a lot.
yes,
Personally,
yes,
as a
we
rebel
have.
player, I've abused them a lot.
Uh, I kind of got to thinking about some stuff the other day, and one of the things that come up was one of my dice head tournament wins.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd played way back in the day Veers, a whole bunch of Storms, triple bikes, and I absolutely wrecked a guy. And now that I think about it, it may have been Tim K out of Atlanta. Don't remember for certain. I just remember I went up there. We showed up late. I got paired against Hayden, collected my easy win, got paired against Tim K, and then just absolutely throttled him with what I was playing that day, and then never played the list again.
That was it.
Oh,
A different new unit came out.
right. Cheers. Pinkies out, bottoms up for our long lost sniper companions.
Alas.
Uh, and so you can no longer, like Wookiees, you can't rotate out which Wookiee gets 1 or 2 wounds on it and then relocate the unit, reposition a different guy to take 1 or 2 wounds. If you get a wound, you take wounds until it dies.
Which, again, I mean, that's just clarification, right? It just
Yeah.
makes the game flow a little smoother. There's less rules lawyering that's happening, which is always a good thing.
Yep.
You know.
And, I'm excited for the addition of yet another tool to my Legion toolbox with the silhouettes. I am excited for that to a degree. But here we go. Probably the biggest change we've seen yet. The line of sight changes, I don't exactly call that a rework. I call that a cleaning up of what we had.
Yeah, I agree.
And some of those changes make more sense and honestly are one of the biggest complaints I get about the game when teaching new people anyway.
Exactly. It just makes it easier to learn how to play and actually play the game. So,
Yep.
yeah, I agree.
So you choose a unit to activate or pass. Activating it, you can still draw from the pool or activate a face-up order token. And a player may pass if they have fewer remaining orders than the opponent. To see how many remaining orders a player has, you add up all the face-up tokens, the order pool, and any tokens that may be on a command card. Talking to you, Shadow Collective, and Krennic.
Possibly rapid reinforcements.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. Rapid is once command cards are played. Rapid's in the order pool.
Oh, that's true. You're right. You're right. Yeah. It's been so long since I forgot it changed.
Man, I was hoping to get lucky here a couple of games ago, and Rapid was one of our options, and I was I was licking my chops because I already seen my drop spot,
Yeah.
and I know the opponent didn't see what I seen, and I'm like, I already know where I'm gonna drop, and he vetoed
Mm,
and played
fair
disarray
frame.
instead. I didn't give him no good choices. So a
Yeah.
player can pass. They don't activate a unit and turn ends. You can only pass once per round. So for fire supports, that's great.
Really great. Like, really great.
Yeah, now I can take 9
And
acts and not feel bad about that fire support that left me with 7.
yeah, and even it's the same for rebels too, right? Like, oh great, now I can actually take 2 commanders and 2 operatives and like a decent heavy, maybe even 2, like a land speeder or something
Yeah.
like, I mean
Um,
I love the pass mechanic. I think it makes sense in terms of like actual wargaming. Like, yeah, sometimes you're gonna hold your troops and see what your opponent does. Like that totally makes sense to me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, and I can't tell you how many times I've had to be like, okay, I guess I'm gonna draw an order from the order bag. Oh fuck, it's my commander. Great.
not
Like,
what I needed at this moment.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
totally get that.
So
And
yeah, I agree. 2 thumbs up on that change. I love it.
it's something that I'm going to be playtesting with over the next week or two. Kind of getting more of a feel for it. I know there's some details on this that haven't been truly worked out, or let me rephrase that, posted for us to see.
Mm.
But I do know that you can't pass if the opponent only has 1 activation left.
Hmm.
And that prevents the double last.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so there's a few restrictions to it. I'm glad to see that it's going to work out like that.
hmm Yeah. I mean, it's, just as great. It's like a 9-act army was, like you said, it's almost unplayable without the pass mechanic because even an 11 activation, like, if by some miracle they don't eliminate one of your acts, like, they already have, you're done, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna take my turn. Okay, I'm gonna take another turn, like, oh, that sucks. So
Oh,
at least it'll still allow them to get the last activation of the turn, but at least you have something before that you can, on turn 4, fourth or fifth activation, you can be like, I'm going to pass and let you do something, so I kind of have something to respond to
yeah.
between your 10th and 11th activation. So
And there
it's
was
good.
some feels bad moments. I mean, I played 13 act droids A so I could play it while drunk.
Perfect.
We see how that worked out for me at the end of at the end of Saturday.
Now it's going to move shoot.
We're going to count up points. We're not going to score these as double as we should have. Fuck, I gave the game away.
Brutal.
Yeah, I'm still going to beat my own ass down for that one. I deserve it
It
too.
happens. That happens.
It does. Not realizing it until you're eating dinner with the guy that you gave the game to.
Hey, you
Oh,
know,
but I'm excited. I'm excited about it. 13 act droid. I mean, you're still not going to pass your way into not getting 3 or 4 acts after everything of yours is gone.
right. So it still rewards those people that really lean into the activation
Yeah,
count as well. Right. Yeah.
right.
hmm
One of the things that I've heard rumors of, and actually would be kind of cool, would be each player supplies 2 cards of each variety for a battle deck. 2 objective, 2
Oh,
battlefield, 2 condition.
interesting.
I'm almost down with
Oh,
that, to be honest.
so would the bid just be for table age then? And who's blue player? Like who goes first, I guess?
Possibly.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You
I
just
mean,
shuffle them up
I
and put
think
them
that
down,
almost
maybe?
makes red player really good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. That, Yeah, it'd be interesting to see like how like maybe you put the red players' cards first, so they're the first ones banned. Maybe I don't know. You're maybe you shuffle them up. I'm not sure, but
It's just something that I've seen. I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not, but I kind of thought it was
mhm,
unique, and we may try it once or twice out here at the store on Thursday night just to see how it works.
yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. That might make red player just.
I think
I mean, at that
I
point,
think
just
that
get
makes Red
800
Player good.
points. Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, I've been trying to get close to 800 points. One of my favorite ways to list build is to count to 800, or count to 500,
Yeah.
or count to
Mine.
1600.
I'm like 797 or 798. I'm like, you know what? I'll get it. The guys who went to 800, but I can't fit anything else in here now. So,
Yeah.
but
Oh man.
well, the last thing, them prices, them
Yeah.
prices.
Dark Troopers, a heavy unit at 55 for 7 slightly oversized trooper minis.
Oh, the
Atomic
Dark Trooper's
Mass.
$70.
What?
The Dark Trooper's $70.
No, can't be.
Yes, it is. I'm looking it up right now.
I mean, I know you're looking it up, and I'm kind of fumbling my way through Atomic Mass's mediocre website here. Oh, we got documents for Legion. We ain't got nothing else. Go figure.
Yeah, I
God.
think they're all still okay. Let's see. They're not showing up on here.
Let's
Are they in FFGs?
shop.asmodee.com. $54.99.
Yeah, as me. Okay. Not as bad as I thought they were then.
$54.99. Still shouldn't be more than
Crazy.
$40.
Crazy town, dude.
I mean,
Just
these guys
absolutely insane.
honestly should be the same price as a normal trooper unit.
Yeah.
I don't. As a player, I don't agree with this price. Um, Instead of buying 2 units of these, I probably only buy one. And honestly,
Yeah.
once the command card's released, I may only ever want one squad of these guys.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what they're, like, and then the Commander Moff Gideon being like $30, dude, for one model.
If
It just doesn't
Gideon,
make any sense to me. Like, why are 7 models $55 and one model is $30? Like,
Moff Gideon.
uh,
No, where the hell you seeing prices at? Because he's 20.
all right. I'm gonna look at the. Hmm,
I mean,
I could have sworn that the ones that they were sent into our chat the other day were way more than that.
no.
I might be wrong though.
I mean, honestly, at 55, Dark Trooper should have Gideon in the damn box. Oh, we get end of season 1 Mando Gideon here.
Hmm.
Dark Saber Gideon.
Yeah, he's got the dark saber. Yeah. Oh, where it was. I guess I'm just tripping. I guess I'm just thinking it's way worse than it is, which I'm glad that it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah, when you was ranting and raving about it earlier, I didn't quite understand it, but
Yeah.
I was just gonna
I
let
don't
you
know
rant and
where.
rave for a moment. But
Thanks. Appreciate that.
hey, let you rant and rave for a moment, and then come back with a counter argument that we need to solve the problem.
Yeah. Mm,
But 55 for the Dark Troopers seems a little steep, considering with what I would consider an equivalent unit. Actually, Death Troopers seems like a fairly
yeah.
close equivalent. Is $30.
Hmm.
There's
Exactly. Like,
35 because there's one more mini in the box.
yeah.
Death Troopers have 6, Darks have 7.
Yeah, maybe I see that. I see that.
But
I just,
I can't.
mm,
The 55 is a hard pill to swallow.
I mean, and then I look at the X-Wing, which we briefly touched on earlier, but like piece of terrain for $100, dude. Like,
It's not a
does
piece of
that
terrain,
do
it's
we
5 pieces of terrain.
okay, okay, still, it's
It,
$100. Like, dude, I'm gonna pay you $15 to can 3D print one of those for me. Or I'm gonna pay $10 at a flea market for a U-wing that's the correct scale and cut that thing up with with the jigsaw. So, like
yeah.
I just wild to me, dude. Like, and now I'm worried, like, what is the next tank gonna cost? What is the next heavy unit gonna cost?
Well, I have a funny feeling when we find out soon enough. Uh, I mean,
Yeah.
the lat and the bus was neither one of them was cheap, and God knows I've bought my more than my fair share of them.
Yeah. I don't know, man. To me, it just feels like AMG is trying to price Legion out, basically. You know what I mean?
Eh,
Like, I guess they look at Warhammer and they're like, "Well, Warhammer can get away with it. We can get away with it."
I I don't think their
But
price. I think the price on the Death Trooper on the Dark Troopers is a little steep.
hmm
Um,
but then
but
no people will pay it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but here's also
it's a Star
something.
Wars license. It's an established game. It's a unit from people's favorite Star Wars franchise, which is The Mandalorian, basically.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know.
but it also is in the situation of Dark Troopers and Gideon could probably be considered the first true AMG release since they got the game.
Hmm.
Because Shadow Collective, Dad Bod Boba, and Mando had started development at FFG.
Yeah.
So we just now finished rinsing FFG out of the pipes.
Hmm. So what do you think that means for the future then? Like of the game?
Uh,
Like, are we gonna get more TV show stuff? Like, are we gonna get the Mod Squad? Are we gonna get some Andor dudes?
I'm
Like,
sure we're going to get some of the stuff from these new shows because the new shows have
mm,
given us ample material. With Andor, we get plenty of stuff to add to Rebel and Empire.
hmm
Uh,
So when do we get into First Order and the Resistance? Like, when does the Ray come down? When's the Poe Dameron come
I'm
down?
glad
Like,
you brought that up. They're
yeah,
talking about either late 2023 or early 2024
really? It's
for
already
sequel.
okay.
That's
Interesting.
all I know of it at this time.
Well, maybe we'll finally get a better Leia.
Skullforge has a solution for that problem, at least for the sculpt.
Yeah, I know. I'm not talking about the sculpt. Talking about
Well, no,
Leia versus
we we
literally any other commander.
we you know what? Let me get off the dark trooper picture here. Um, we have a better Leia. You know who it is? It's Padme.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Padme. Yeah,
Which mom's always better than daughter.
it's true. Experience.
It counts, especially where it
It
matters.
does indeed.
God, you know, too bad we're missing
Uh,
our third wheel tonight.
yeah, he'd have something to say about that.
He really would. That would have been a joke that he didn't let go.
Yeah, it's. I'm just. I don't know. To me, it feels like AMG is a little bit out of their depth. It's not something that they're super comfortable with. And, we'll see how much comes after Moff Gideon and the Dark Troopers and stuff and like what else they release and everything. But, I don't know. Like I just feel like it's not a priority for them, with this like how long it took to get the rules changes, like how up in the air organized play is for next year.
Well, I will
Um,
say that organized play is picking up, and they're doing worlds qualifiers and stuff.
mhm.
Ryan's trying to get Rocky Top a worlds qualifier, and we're trying to get Cherokee as well.
See, that would be awesome, but I feel like all of the qualifiers are on the coasts, basically. It's either like California or New York. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I guess.
you know the biggest problem with our area?
Mm.
We don't support the big events when they come to town.
What big events have we had other than Rocky Top, which we had like what 40 players for or something, or 20, 30 something players for or something?
45, I think, showed up,
Yeah, yeah,
and then Cherokee was 48.
yeah.
But both of those events could have held more players. We didn't
Yes,
se-
man. But I mean,
we didn't we sold out Rocky Top, and
mhm,
then by the time cancellations and stuff happened at the end, we lost a couple of people. Um,
mhm,
there was two Chattanooga players that bought tickets that didn't show up on Saturday
mhm,
that I was fully expecting to show up. Neither one of them did.
mhm.
One of them came by on Sunday.
Yeah,
Uh, and then my kid got to go because of somebody not using their ticket.
yeah.
And one thing led to another, and then Cherokee, there was plenty of open spots that we could have had tables at last year.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, but I mean, like not every tournament is going to be an LVO. You know what I mean? Like
No,
that's,
not every tournament's
or
going to
an
be an
Adepticon.
LVO,
Like,
but there's enough players
yeah,
in this area that we should be able to pack a 64-man tournament out without issue.
yeah, I agree with that. I would agree with that. Is
And
that kind of the baseline for Worlds invites is like 64 players?
I don't know if that's the baseline or not, but
Mm,
I feel like that would be the number
mhm.
for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, the best part of me getting this new job is I'll have weekends off and I won't have to work after 5. So
I do
love
like
that.
that Monday through Friday 8 to 5 stuff. It's quite nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking
Um,
forward to that, man. I'm looking forward to that for sure. Be able to actually play Legion and play in tournaments, without having to be trapped in a retail store. So
I don't miss retail work at all.
I bet not.
I
Me
really don't.
either.
I don't miss it at
I've
all.
been unemployed for 6 weeks at this point, and I don't miss it either.
Ouch. But I also understand your situation as well.
Yeah.
But
So, well, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm excited to get back into Legion. I'm excited to play some more games. Like I said, I got to do some painting, which I'm motivated to do now because I got time to do it and stuff. And the kids are done with
do I
school; they're
need
on
to buy
break right
you
now,
a
so
new bottle of Caliban Green?
maybe. No, I'm pretty sure I've got a Caliban green, and I'm pretty sure I have a contrast paints Caliban green. So, but
You ought to try the
yeah,
slap chop method on that Caliban Green
you should.
contrast.
I need you. I need to. We did need to get together for a painting night because I need you to show me kind of how to dry brush and stuff. Because I kind of think I know how to do it, but I'm still like, don't. I don't know. I just need to come and do some painting. I'll prime everything before I get over there. We can
Yeah.
just paint together.
If you
So
prime it in black, we can make quick work out of it.
nice. It's mostly for
That's what I
Landers,
did with
so
these Yodas, and
yeah,
the one that I done last night in like 10 minutes is amazing.
yeah,
And I learned a
yeah.
little bit doing him that I may try something different on this other Yoda and just go reprime him real quick.
There you go.
I don't
Nice.
like stacking primer upon primer, but if
Hmm.
I can apply just another thin coat of black to it, I'm fine.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got anything else you wanted to talk about, man?
Uh, if you're watching and not don't follow or give us a like, thumbs up, it all helps.
Helps
Uh,
us a lot for
I know
sure.
we're not the most consistent people on the internet as far as this
We're
goes.
not, but
Uh,
we are the second longest running Tennessee Legion podcast.
And with facts like that, even the Stabcast can't argue that we're the second longest running. Uh, can we really call this a podcast
Tennessee
anymore?
Legion.
Tennessee Legion chat
There we go.
on the
Yeah.
internet.
There we go.
Till next time, this is your captain. Good night, good evening, and have fun. Don't do anything we wouldn't do. And let's be real, that's a really short list.
Put minis on the table.
Always.